Welcome to the HRO Today HR Healthcare Executive of the Year Luncheon. I want to thank our sponsor, AMN Healthcare, for sponsoring this important award. Healthcare, as we all know, faces unique challenges. In many other industries, in the for-profit or not-for-profit areas, don't have the same imperative that you have in healthcare. In healthcare, if you don't have the right workforce, if you don't have the right staff, literally people die. That's a very scary thing to think about, but it is the truth. So we want to recognize the challenges that are faced by healthcare executives as they go forth to make sure that there are the necessary nurses and allied health professionals. Some of you may not know this, but according to the JCO regulations, JCO is the organization that does the rankings and ratings and accreditation of healthcare service providers. There's got to be a necessary staff ratio. If you don't have enough nurses and allied health professionals, you can't have the patient care taking place at the level that you might be able to in a hospital, leading to empty beds, wasted resources, and cost overruns. But the HR executives and the talent acquisition professionals in healthcare have to work in a world of very limited resources, have to work in a world where they need to make do as best they can, and they do succeed. So as we begin to go forward to honor these HR professionals, I want you to remember one thing, that the next time a nurse appears at your bedside, that somewhere up the chain of that hospital is a recruiter who brought them there for you. Thank you. To host our lunch, I want to turn this over to our hostess with the mostest, our editorial director, Debbie Bola, whose interest in the unique challenges of healthcare has been an area of passion and investigation and brought that important content to HRO Today. Debbie?
Thank you, Elliot. I think I'll put hostess with the mostest on my LinkedIn profile after the conference. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're enjoying your lunch. What Elliot says is right. The healthcare industry has faced some very challenging times in recent years. And these challenges have called for innovations that require risk and transformation. Today, we recognize some of the most talented and successful leaders in the healthcare field. First, I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsor, AMN Healthcare. Patient satisfaction is mission critical for today's hospitals, and no one understands this better than AMN Healthcare. A leader in healthcare workforce solutions, AMN Healthcare helps their patients, clinicians, and physicians deliver the very best in patient care. With 18,000 corporate team members and clinicians working in the United States, AMN has earned spots on HRO's Today coveted Baker's Dozen lists for both RPO and MSP. In a few minutes, I will ask Julie Fletcher, Chief Talent Officer of AMN, to join me on stage. But first, a few comments. The healthcare industry has faced some unusual circumstances in the last few years. First, there was the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare. So, healthcare reform made more benefits available to more people. More is always good, right? Wait. More people with benefits means a greater demand for care. But is the care available? Well, not necessarily, because the population is also aging, meaning more people are retiring. But wait, there's more. That retiring baby boomer generation is getting older, and unfortunately, the older we get, the more care we need. So, what has this resulted in? That's right, a perfect storm. And lots of headaches for those healthcare professionals, especially in HR, tasked with workforce planning, staff scheduling, and keeping overall morale up. Can we take a minute to look at that image of George Clooney? I think Elliot would say that's what I look like when my deadline's coming up, but it's pretty funny. The storm has come with some other obstacles. Let's go through a few of them now, because as you will learn, many have been conquered by our leaders of distinction. But we'll keep it light, because as they say, laughter is the best medicine. Even with demand up, some healthcare facilities saw budget cuts, meaning that HR had to get creative with resources. Now, I don't know anyone who literally asked the staff to hold patients up, but this might not be that far off. But as Elliot said, when you're in a client-facing industry and care can literally be a matter of life or death, being short on staff is not as doable as in other organizations. But at times, it can be a reality for some, and this high-pressure, high-demand environment can lead to. I think this cat's name is Nurse Ratchet. But in all seriousness, it's on HR's shoulders to keep company morale up, even in trying times. Healthcare organizations need fearless leaders that demand the best from their employees. But how can this be done? It takes some smart thinking, a little muscle, and a lot of enthusiasm to get a great result. We will be sharing the secrets to healthcare success shortly when we go over the initiatives and accomplishments of this year's Leaders of Distinction Award winners. But first, we'll learn some secrets of a chief talent officer that knows how to keep her workforce happy. Julie Fletcher has been lending her expertise to AMN for almost 10 years. She's the driving force behind AMN's commitment to investing in its talent as a key differentiator. She plays a strategic role in attracting, developing, and retaining team members for corporate position and across the AMN family of solutions. You saw her earlier this morning on stage as she led an insightful healthcare panel. She's perhaps trying to take my job. Please join me in welcoming Julie Fletcher to the stage.
Thank you, Debbie. I hope everyone's enjoying their lunch. I'm just going to be up here for a few minutes because you did a wonderful introduction of AMN. Thank you so much. So I just wrote a couple comments. Certainly AMN is thrilled to be here, and I really want to thank Elliot and Debbie and Zachary. The relationship that AMN has with HRO Today goes way back, and the fact that there is an opportunity to bring the leaders of distinction in healthcare to the stage this afternoon means a great deal. I know Susan Salk, our CEO, wish she was here. We actually have an earnings call, being a public company, tomorrow, which just adds more pressure to the responsibility we certainly have to our shareholders as a public company. I think one of my comments when I think about the challenge of patients and the things that Debbie talked about, if we don't get it right, it can be really wrong, and Elliot mentioned this as well. Susan tells a great story, and I'll do my best to retell it. About 2 years ago, her father had a stroke unexpectedly when it was his birthday, and he was spending the night at Susan's house. And so clearly, she went into daughter mode versus CEO of a $2 billion public company mode, and got to the hospital, dealt with what was going on. She was there with her mom and dad, who she relocated from Nebraska to San Diego to be closer to her a few years back. And she tells the story of going obviously from the emergency room, into a critical care room that he was in, and there was a young nurse there that was taking care of her father. And she said her mom called her the angel. And it was this terrific lady who understood her mom's needs, Susan's needs, her dad, who was the patient, and just kind of got them through this really stressful time. And Susan said, as the nurse was leaving her shift for the day, she went up to her mom, who was sitting next to Susan, and said, thank you for allowing me to take care of your dad. And Susan's watching are you kidding me? And she just told this story of, this is my job. I'm passionate about people. And I really have enjoyed getting to know your family and taking care of your dad. And then she turned to Susan and she said, and thank you, Susan, for putting me to work as an AMN nurse. And we had no idea, Susan had no idea that she was an AMN nurse that day. But I think it just goes back to that larger mission of why we exist. So we are truly in the patient care business. So anyway, just one important story that you can all relate to, because every patient is a mother, father, brother, sister, et cetera. So in closing, again, I want to really thank the HRO leaders, executives who are here today. I think the panel the 3 days were terrific. Thank you very much. I learned a lot. I met some amazing people, and I certainly go to a lot of conferences, but I feel like I'm leaving this one with meeting a lot of friends, certainly inside and outside of healthcare, but a lot of HR executives that have been terrific. So lots of best practices that I know all of you will be taking back to your workplaces as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Julie. Now a little bit about the award program. This award program is managed by the editorial team of HRO Today with the advice of some outside advisors. It was clear that the work of healthcare CHROs needed to be recognized and honored with our first annual Healthcare Program of the Year awards. We received nearly 4 dozen nominations, with all nonprofit nominees being in the healthcare sector. The process of getting it down to these leaders of distinction was no easy feat. I want to thank my editorial team and research team for their support in making this happen. Congratulations to all our leaders of distinction. We'll go through them now. Julian Campion, Vice President, Talent Management, Geisinger Health System. Jane Maxud, CHRO, the Mount Sinai Healthcare System. I skipped a slide. Jeff Jurnak, Talent Acquisition Manager, Health First. Beth Mayfee, Senior Vice President, Human Resources, Baptist Health. Adrienne McCoy, CHRO, Baptist Health, South Florida. Angela Moriarty, Director of HR, Advanced Correctional Healthcare. Mark Paleo, Vice President, CHRO, Henry Mayo Newhall Hospital.
It is an honor to share a little bit about my experience working with Julie. Having had the opportunity to work with hospitals and health systems around the country, it is rare to find a leader of Julien's caliber. Julien is one of those that understands it is the individuals on her team that make her and Geisinger a world-class organization. Through Julien's leadership, she builds great relationships, and through that breaks down the business and organizational silos that allows her to get more done with less in a better way. She's a master at putting people in the right place to be successful while having the bigger picture and the greater good in the back of her mind. Julien, it is an absolute awesome opportunity to work with you and your team, and we here at Talent Plus look forward to achieving great things for years to come.
Hi, my name is Jeff Cohn. I'm the Vice President of Labor Relations for the Mount Sinai Healthcare System, an organization with 40,000 employees in 7 major hospitals throughout New York City. Jane is compassionate, dedicated, committed to doing the right thing every day, and cares very much for the employees to make sure that the employees have an excellent experience so that they can provide the care to the patients that every patient deserves. I have known Jane Maxud for 20 years, and it's my pleasure to have nominated her to be the CHRO of the Year.
In 2016, Baptist Health South Florida's Chief Human Resources Officer, Adrienne McCoy, championed a plan to address unexpected flatness in near-term revenue. Taking inspiration from her industry peers and crafting a plan to fit Baptist's employee-centric culture, Adrienne proposed a four-pronged labor cost reduction strategy designed specifically to minimize negative impact on the Baptist family. In the space of just 3 months, Adrienne's plan helped to achieve a $44.4 million reduction in annual labor costs without a single layoff.
I'm Jessica Young with Advanced Correctional Healthcare, and I'm proud to have nominated Angela Moriarty for HRO Today's Chief Human Resource Officer of the Year Award. Recognized as one of the nation's largest jail healthcare providers, ACH endeavors to make a difficult time in their incarcerated patients' lives easier. Angela's primary role at ACH is to find ways to make our employees' lives easier. She listens to our people, communicates to our people, and fosters a culture of trust. Angela treats our employees as a part of our business family. That's one of the reasons I'm so proud to nominate her for this award.
My name is Jen Zanotti from the Healthcare Practice Group at CHROs, and we were thrilled to nominate Mark Puelo from Henry Mayo Newhall Hospital for the CHRO of the Year Award. To improve employee engagement, Mark spearheaded a key initiative to reimagine internal processes and implement new employee-centric programs. The highlights include a better onboarding experience, much less administrative work, and most importantly, more time for Henry Mayo staff to attend to patients. To date, Henry Mayo has experienced a 50% reduction in turnover, as well as happier employees and patients. From everyone here at CHROs, congratulations, Mark.
Congratulations. And the winners are, well, they'll be announced after we clear the salads and enjoy lunch. So a few more minutes. But I do invite the leaders of distinction to get them to the side table and get their award, and then I'll be back to describe the award categories and announce the winners. Thank you. So we're going to continue with the program. Let me tell you a little bit about this year's awards. This year we have 3 categories. The first category is Talent Management Program of the Year. This is a leadership award and a departmental award. It recognizes the accomplishments and impact of a talent management strategy and the strong execution that creates a more successful healthcare system, better financial results, and better patient outcomes. The second category is Healthcare HR Innovation. This award recognizes the reality that most healthcare entities are nonprofit and have more limited investment than for-profit organizations. Therefore, innovation in creating programs with high impact that are cost-effective is paramount to success. Innovation is about developing an approach or a program that engages the workforce by trying new ways of delivering HR. The final category is Healthcare HR Executive of the Year. Healthcare HR Executive of the Year describes a CHRO who, through programming, consultation, and a long history of HR strategy and experience, has distinguished their service and contribution to not only their hospital or system, but to the overall practice of HR and healthcare. The time has come to announce the winners. The first award is for the Top Talent Management Program in Healthcare. When I announce the winners, I will ask them to join me on stage to offer a few quick remarks in accepting the award. The last few years have proven that nothing is more critical to an organization than its talent, and that strategy often comes from the top. The Talent Management Program of the Year award goes to Jeff Juranak, Talent Acquisition Manager, Health First. I got it right this time, Jeff. Jeff led the charge of building Health's first talent pipeline by introducing the value of hiring new-to-practice nurses, a major organizational change. So by attracting and extending offers to those who were suitable candidates, but pending graduation and successful passing of their nursing boards, the organization hit a record in terms of new hires, which almost doubled forecasted projections. His initiatives have led increases in 90-day retention rates and hiring manager and new hire satisfaction. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeff Juranak.
So I left my notes in the trash can after yesterday's loss. I'd like to thank HRO Today. I'm practicing, Elliot. I'm practicing, Zachary. I'm working on it. Thank you. I am just the face that gets to be up here. We have an amazing team, disruptors, individuals that love change and help drive change across all the departments. I am enthusiastic and I love what I do, and that comes out. But myself, Mary Jane Brecklin, VP of HR, our CHRO, Paula Just, we have a shared dream together on how we're going to help our healthcare network be ready for the future. So we do that all together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff. Congratulations, Jeff. Innovation. It's been necessary to navigate the recently challenging landscape of healthcare. Innovative ideas and strategies result in success. Success that is defined by the reduced costs and engaged employees. The winner of the HR Healthcare Innovation Award is Jane Maxud, CHRO, the Mount Sinai Healthcare System. Come up, Jane. She had a challenging job ahead of her when in 2016, the Mount Sinai Health System transformed its 800-bed Mount Sinai Beth Israel Hospital into a smaller footprint. This process required working with major unions to guarantee that all union employees working within the system would be offered opportunities at equal pay. It also meant doing more with less. Although resources were limited, Jane developed a very well-received wellness program that included cooking classes in the hospital cafeteria and the yoga program she mentioned earlier this morning. What creative, innovative ways to engage with employees while improving their health. Ladies and gentlemen, Jane Maxud.
Thank you so much. It's a great honor to be recognized by an august group of colleagues, and I appreciate that greatly. Like many others have said before, I couldn't be here at all if it wasn't for the dedication and hard work of my team. They're an incredible group of people. I frequently ask them to do the impossible, and every time they come through, for which I am very grateful. I also have to appreciate my family, who has watched me drag my work with me through loads of holidays, birthday events, and other things while I surreptitiously work in a small corner so as not to disrupt the festivities. So I thank you all. I love my job. I'm fortunate to work in a wonderful place doing work that's meaningful to me, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here. Thank you.
Congratulations, Jane. We will be announcing our final award now. This award recognizes the Healthcare HR Executive of the Year. And the winner is Adrienne McCoy, CHRO, Baptist Health, South Florida. Baptist Health is no stranger to today's challenging environment. Reducing the size of an organization's workforce is never easy, but Adrienne McCoy developed a strategic plan to do so without laying off a single employee and saving the organization more than $44 million in annual labor costs. But she did more than just improve the bottom line. She ensured that the company culture remained the same, actually even improved by encouraging open communication and in launching a company-wide week of thanks. Her efforts helped the company earn a coveted spot on Fortune's list of the best companies to work for. Ladies and gentlemen, Adrienne McCoy.
Thank you. You know, everybody gets up and talks about not writing a speech. I was over there just eating like nothing was going on. So first of all, I'd like to thank HRO Today. You know, I've listened to Elliot over the past couple of days talk about HR having difficulty recognizing ourselves. It's almost like throwing your own birthday party, you know, it kind of feels a little bit strange. But I'm very grateful for the individuals that I was nominated with, had an opportunity to meet them over the past couple of days. Healthcare, as many of us know, is very challenging, and we have to be creative, and it's an environment that's been, as I mentioned earlier, pretty paternalistic. So when you think about taking positions away from employees, it's just not a nice thing to do in any industry, but particularly in an industry where you are caring for people. It's a very difficult message, but I have had the great benefit of working with an amazing team. I always say they do all the work, I just get the recognition, but I have an amazing team of people that I work with, as we all do, and a great organization supported by an amazing executive team. And you know, I love the fact that family was mentioned. My husband couldn't be here today, but you all know in these roles, it's very difficult to deal with the ebbs and flows of what happens at work without having a very strong support system at home. So I'm very appreciative of that as well, and have absolutely enjoyed the past 3 days being here. Regardless of whether or not I've won, this has been truly one of the best conferences that I've been at. So I really thank you guys for that as well. Thank you all.
Thank you. Congratulations to the winners, and again to all our leaders of distinction. I also wanted to say thank you to our sponsor, AMN Healthcare. And there's two big things to look forward to, at least for me: dessert and the MSP Baker's Dozen announcement. So enjoy your lunch, and dessert will be right out. Thank you.